to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chargers will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. Chamberlain. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he'll get this up to about the 4.
Brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of 7. First down, Las Vegas.
Ready.
Now a handoff up the middle. Chamberlain. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now it's Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Herbert scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag, and they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Chamberlain. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that earlier.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now a handoff up the middle. Chamberlain. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here we go on 4th down. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. That'll be caught by Shipley. He's got room at the 30. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown! A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. It's certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailing?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Raider 1st down.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down. Now Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
Partner, I think this is what long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
They run the counter. It's Kennedy, and he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Kennedy. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense will probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So a 1st interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 21-0 our score after 1. facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Ball past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 85 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit that sack to D'Angelo Malone. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quick. He's got him in. Complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 36 yards on the play. So the mid-play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Kennedy. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. On 2nd down now, it's Kennedy, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Herbert. This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times, in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And they're going to get this up to midfield. They go play action with Wilson. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. 6 yards left on 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. Tries the crossing route and hits Watson. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And complete once again to Watson. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 13-yard line.
Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Ready, ready. C6. Out rush.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge is a successful one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert, he finds his man, complete. That's Kennedy. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That's caught at the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Wilson. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Las Vegas.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Play action. Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Right, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, operating gun, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Now McManus on to kick this one off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Play action. It's Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Now it's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. He's going to go up top again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Open man is Miller. He's got it.
And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. But let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
They gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think that's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
That ball caught by Slayton. Finding room at midfield. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, L.A. Darius Slayton, 81 yards. And the Chargers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Offense set to get this drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing.
And my goodness, another interception. Monte Nicholson picks it, and the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game, and Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Kennedy, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9. Herbert, that's complete to Shipley. And stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage. But an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Up the middle they go. It's Kennedy. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
at this play call. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The trick play does not pan out here on 4th and goal. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now. And all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chamberlain. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
This offense on 3rd down today, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Finding room at midfield. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 44-yard line. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson going up top for Miller. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 106 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, second and goal. Herbert now. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out. Touchdown, Chargers. Darius Slayton, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Looks like they went for the combo play there. A nice ample gain on the ground on the previous play. Going for the big shot on that one unsuccessfully.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Now Wilson on first down. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. A
they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They go play action with Wilson. It's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On third down, Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Miller in motion right. Second and 10 now. Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the 7th play now in this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one's over. It's in full color for the LA Chargers. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Chargers, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,